Backseat Drivers time. Good evening and welcome to Backseat Drivers number 13, lucky 13, where we don't have a Grand Prix preview this week because it's already been cancelled, which, although disappointing, is probably better than the shit show we had at, where was it? Spa the other year. To talk about that and many other topics that have come up during the week. First up, we've got Rob.
Hi, I'm Rob.
We've got first mate Matt.
I'm underwater.
props.
And because I've got to get out of here early, we've got Super Sub Buffy filling in as well this week.
Hello.
That was totally worth it.
Yes.
It definitely was.
I stand by my jokes.
And we've got fancy backgrounds that that wasn't a 3-year-old who drew on that. That was me.
Wait, did you draw that? That looks realistic.
Yeah,
I did the Imola bit on his top.
I feel like it looks like Seb actually went down to Italy just to rub it in, wearing that T-shirt. It looks that realistic.
is this going to be future merch? Backseat Drivers merch?
Copyright strike merch.
Yeah.
That's how you get your name out there. You get sued.
Yeah.
Well, they can sue us for all of the Backseat Drivers' profits.
Jokes on them. Isn't it?
Zero.
They are
Exactly.
finally. But if we make money off them giving us money, because we're
Oh, wow.
negative,
I'm on
then
the,
do we have
I'm
to
on
give
the
them
very
money?
bad delay.
I think Booby's in Italy. There's a bit of a delay with Booby.
Yeah.
Buffy's broken.
Oh, yeah,
Don't
yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Do you want me to upgrade your computer,
I
Buffy?
think he's in the lake. He's in the lake right now, and the internet's playing up.
Yeah. Well, it's in underwater, obviously, because quite clearly he's there in Imola.
Yes.
Yeah.
Don't be
Alright.
fooled by the green screen.
What green screen? That's realistic.
All right. I'm going to leave. I'll be back.
All right.
Okay. We'll see you later.
Wait, we should chow. There, see?
Yeah.
Italian.
Yeah. It's just like being in Italy.
I know, right?
So what are we going to talk about now that there's no racing? We can't do a preview. So
Well, I can do a review of the race, Dave. Here we go. Everyone, bear with me, okay? So I've worked it out now. Max doesn't even bother qualifying anymore. He just starts in 10th. That's what he does now. It's now a power play, Dave. So what he does, he turns up. He goes, Checo, you do whatever you need to do. I'm just going to win. Checo's deflated. He tries his best. He finishes second. We're going to say random Ferrari guy gets pole. Max is all the way in the back, but he positions himself in a way that Checo can still see him in the mirror. Just so we can go, I'm watching it. Then Alonso says, 15 laps, he'll catch up to him. And then in 7 laps, Max has overtaken everybody. Lap 30, he's lapped the entire group just as a power play move. Then he pulls into pits, gets the wheels off, comes out, gets a cup of coffee, drinks that, gets back in, races around, still wins by 37 seconds. Everyone's disappointed, and you feel bad for wasting money. But I've just saved everyone tickets to the race.
not bad.
Yeah, I thought that's basically what I've noticed that Max. I think from now on, except for Monaco, Max is not going to try qualifying anymore. I think he wants a bit of challenge.
Well, it does at least make the race a little bit more fun.
For 10 laps, Dave. For 10.
Yeah.
And then it's boring.
But at least you get 10 laps of interest.
That's true.
Yeah.
At least you got something to watch. But I mean, like, imagine you paid money and you rocked up late and they're like, what's happened? And they're like, Max is 40 seconds in front. He's like, why did I even show up? It's, I've wasted all this money. I wasted money on the Uber to get here. And now I just get to sit and watch Max take a Sunday stroll.
The funny thing is, though, once again, like the midfield kind of battle isn't terrible. And And
No,
with
that's
like the the DRS trains and things like that, like the battle behind Red Bull is actually pretty good. But I
Yeah.
think
I would say the mid one,
no-
probably the mid back, like further back. That's probably
but once again, because there is no battle at the front, it is conceived as kind of boring.
yes.
Whereas I'm getting a little bit frustrated that I have to bring this up all the time, but IndyCar at least has a battle at the front, which then it seems to make the races more interesting.
Hasn't there just been one person winning all the IndyCar races lately?
Well, one person won last weekend.
Well, there always has to be a winner, Dave. There's
See,
always
I
a
know.
winner. And there's always-
But there's no one who's just completely dominating this year. So like has there just been one winner for the 5 races, or is it?
No, I think they might have different winners
Oh,
each
That's-
race, I think.
What?
really? That seems
Yeah.
a bit weird.
Dave, are you telling me
Yeah.
there's not one team that's just clearly light years in front of everybody?
Well,
and one
the
of them-
funny thing is that Grosjean and Andretti has probably been the fastest all year, and yet
Yeah.
he hasn't won anything yet.
Yeah,
Ooh.
Okay. Is that better?
hopefully.
It's looking good so far.
I mean, the satellite uplink to Italy is looking good so far. So
Yeah.
It's heavy,
good.
heavy rain, so
Heavy
Did you
rain,
get it
yeah.
out the flood?
Yeah, just I managed to find a spot a little higher, but my feet are still wet.
Well, we've got to do these things sometimes to keep the
I
show on
don't
the road.
understand why Boovy got flown out to Italy and Rob and I, who've been here longer, more senior reporters, had to stay back at home.
As with all things backseat drivers, Boovy paid out of his own pocket. So
Of course.
I had to fly myself out to my back room.
I mean, someone had to buy these Pepsi Maxes because Dave still hasn't got a sponsorship.
yeah. Well, I tried,
still-
but yeah.
Dave, I'm still waiting for my Ridge wallet as well.
NordVPN's currently not working properly here.
Well, that's the problem.
Maybe you should have went for a NordVPN.
Yeah. Or Surfshark.
Yes.
Yeah.
What's the other one?
There's,
So,
yeah.
Do they make up the race, or is it just it's done? There's no like at the end, everyone goes back to Italy.
My gut
Probably
feeling
not.
is that we won't see Imola on the calendar this year.
Yeah, they said they'll try and do it, but I don't know where they'll squeeze it in.
That's the problem. You don't really have the gaps in the calendar.
Not anymore, because as you said,
Enough.
Dave, we have 57 races in 42 weeks.
Or we
Yeah,
can have the summer break. Maybe that's the other time.
yeah, but they don't really want to take or put
Just-
anything in that gap, and then there isn't really the gaps these days.
But
No.
also, Dave, Imola,
I just had a
on a
month off.
scale of like 1 to the popular races, is that like one of the Monaco's or Vegas type, like a highly
No.
sought after race, or is it just a filler?
Yeah, and the funny thing is that this is one of the COVID rounds that kind of came and filled in 2020. To like Emila wasn't on the radar at all until 2020, and we had to find a lot of tracks essentially within Europe because we couldn't fly to America and Asia and things like that. So this one's kind of stayed on, but I think I think they've got a very favourable deal as well.
Yeah,
Ah,
So it's not like, say, if we skip Abu Dhabi, it costs, like they pay, say, I think it's like $80 million for their sanctioning fee. I think the Imola one is more like a $10 or $20 million sanctioning fee. Like it's in the grand scheme of things, it's not it's not a big loss to the hip pocket for Formula One.
there is
oh, sorry, Rob.
there is a week spare between Monza and Singapore. They could
But
pretty
then-
much straight from Monza drive, keeping the cars all the way up to
Double
They could
Italy.
come there.
Double Italy.
Yeah.
I don't think
Also-
they're actually I don't think the circuits are that far apart either.
Are they? I'm
See, just-
actually not quite
Could get a
sure.
boat there. Dan could ferry everyone. So we could have Dan and Yuki boat races, and then they could drive a ferry from Imola to Monza, and then just have a
Yeah.
double weekend.
Sounds perfect.
Or Dave, even one racetrack sprints, and then the other one a race because you love sprints.
Is Monza one of the sprint weekends?
I'm assuming they're all sprint weekends now. They just on the day they just decide.
But,
So
yeah.
it's a,
Well, it's funny. They were going to change a massive change to the qualifying rules for this weekend.
wet.
Well, yeah. No, because there's a drop of rain, so it's not safe.
Yeah.
But apparently they were doing that in the proper qualifying this weekend, where you had to use hards in Q1, mediums in Q2, and softs in Q3. To spice up the show.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know how that spices things up though.
The only thing would be if, say, someone was really bad on the hards and then didn't get out of Q1 because they couldn't. Say Red Bull couldn't switch on the hards.
Yeah.
Because
I
they're
think,
so
Rob, you've got to
gentle
say
on their
That's a
tyres.
spicy meatball every time you change. Every time you pit, and then you got to do that. You go, that's a spicy meatball,
That's
and
a
then back
spicy
on the steering
meatball.
wheel. Yeah. Actually, 236 kilometers between the two tracks.
Yeah.
I reckon you just have
3.5
an
hours.
endurance race to get there.
All right,
Put on
20
the-
laps. 20 laps.
Yep.
20 laps of Monza, then do the drive up there, and 20 laps up there.
Brilliant. Double sprint.
Perfect.
Double
What
sprint.
could go wrong?
Yeah.
Nothing.
It's a
Well,
very
you
straight
could-
road, though.
You could do the sprint race at Imola and then go to Monza for the proper race the next
You
day.
could finish off with a sprint, Dave. You could do like laps straight up and then finish with like a 10-lap super sprint.
Yeah, you could.
You could.
And then have a safety car in the middle. And so it's just a parade of champions while you drive 236 kilometers under a safety car.
Hey, you can't just have a parade of champions when Gatifi isn't in the field anymore.
Yes.
Invite him down. Actually, Dave, surprise guest, Mr. Massey comes out and he puts in the safety car just as Lewis has taken the lead.
So also this week we don't get to see the magical Mercedes updates.
Yes.
No.
What updates were they, Dave? For those who had no idea that Mercedes was getting updates.
I
like
think
Robin Goody.
like the McLaren updates from Miami, these were going to
cosmetic.
propel Mercedes to the front of the field magically.
Yes.
Yeah.
Unicorn dust.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Mm.
So I think, maybe if they didn't work or when they didn't work, that's when Toto gets really angry.
Yeah. See, that's another great idea. Just have how many kilometers do they usually travel in an F1 race, Dave?
300.
That's about so it's about 70 short.
236 is like a semi-sprint.
And then a couple
Put
more
them
laps of the
all
racetrack.
on cycle cross tires, Dave. Bit thicker, bit of grip. And away we go.
I've actually walked on the Monza banking, and it would be rather interesting putting a Formula One car on there these days.
We let F1 send them an email, Dave. Just Michael Massey at f1.com. And
Thank you for your service.
Come back, please.
supposedly people are still on Twitter talking about that. Like it never runs
Oh,
out.
Our
It
favourite
will-
pit reporter is still even
Yeah,
talking about
that
it.
will go on forever.
Oh,
I mean, like Massa's, they brought up the whole fucking 2008 championship recently.
Exactly. So that's going
The
to keep going. Yeah,
2021 is going to go, that will be brought up for fucking ever.
So you reckon 2021 they'll be talking about it in 2040 when like young kids will go, Dad, why doesn't
Yeah.
Lewis Hamilton have 8 championships? Gather around, son. I want to tell you a story about a villain named Michael Massey and a mean man called
hero
Jos
named
Verstappen.
Nicholas Latifi. Because the safety car.
Nicholas Latifi was like the Batman. He was not the hero we wanted. He was the hero we needed. He plowed his car into a fence for everybody. And in every country that has an F1 track, there should be a statue of him to remind everybody of the services he's done in his short time.
Oh, boy.
He was like a tiny candle. He burnt bright for just a short amount of time. So
Yes, we know.
we've
We know it's
reviewed Imola. I explained who would win and how it happened.
Yep.
And
So
basically,
I think that's covered.
yeah, basically Max Alonso, Checo, and then little George Russell will miss out again, but he'll get more points than Lewis. Lewis will complain about the quality of the car, and I reckon Stroll top 10.
Stroll would have won this week.
You reckon? Oh, yeah, wet weather. Yeah, he's a wet
Yeah.
weather specialist.
Yeah, he's actually won because of the rain.
So you reckon this was like to hold him back? They called it off because they knew he was going to win.
Yeah,
Basically. Yeah.
There was going to be Stroll.
It's
Stroll's
a
going to win.
conspiracy.
Yeah,
Stroll got his first win.
it was Latifi hit a dam, and that's why it's flooded.
You reckon that's what Latifi does now? He drives around in like a secret covert tractor, just taking out like walls and dams and stuff.
Maybe.
He's
He's
currently
disappeared.
in Monaco right now, just loosening the walls, so Checo can smash into it again and ruin Max's qualifying time.
What was I going to say? We haven't had a Canadian billionaire update for a while, but obviously, if you can't find anything on him,
He's disappeared.
well, he's not racing anywhere.
Oh, he's no social presence at the moment.
Oh, really? Wow.
He hasn't
probably having a
updated his Instagram for 13 weeks when he was out with his
Ooh.
missus. Valentine's
wow.
Day. Yeah,
He's busy doing other stuff.
yeah. I don't know what.
How dare he have a life?
I
I don't
know.
understand why I don't have his phone number. I should be able to call him.
Hmm.
If anyone can find
Yeah.
his phone number, send it to me.
Can't you just ring up the other Canadian billionaire and ask to be added to their WhatsApp group?
Yeah.
I'm assuming
Message.
they've got one.
Maybe.
I
Just
think it's in
send
the
it
Rich Canadians
fa-
one.
fan mail on Instabook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you're not the admin of his fan page. Why have you not?
He secretly is.
Yeah.
The problem is there's only one member.
Yeah.
Is it Latifi himself and he's his biggest fan?
Just me.
Just Rob.
Yeah.
Just Rob
Rob.
sitting there.
King Latifi fans of Australia.
Yeah. Don't make me get the hat. Whatever it is these days.
He'll be
So
there somewhere.
I've just actually had a look, and
Yep.
we have got Indy qualifying this weekend.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
So it's
We've got something
Sunday
to watch.
morning. So yeah,
Yeah.
Does that mean
That-
next week I'm drinking milk?
Mm,
Uh,
no,
week
the
after.
week
week
after.
Yeah.
I might
So they
just
have
milk.
they have qualifying the weekend before.
I thought you were
What?
drinking milk every week.
I do that
Yeah.
anyway, Rob, but like I'm
Yeah.
going to do it on camera.
Actually,
Yeah.
on camera.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want it,
So
like,
wait, you're
running
telling
down
me,
the
Dave,
fence.
instead of doing the qualifying on the week of the race, they have the weekend of the race. They have a whole week of qualifying.
No,
they have
they do it on the Sunday before.
Yeah. But they have a practice before the races still? They still have
Friday, I think, is they have
Yeah.
the final practice.
Yeah.
I
Why do
think
they get more practice than F1?
this is just for the 500.
Yeah.
So in the old days, I'm not sure on exactly how it went, but that's why they call it the month of May.
Yeah.
So they would essentially spend the whole month at Indianapolis, and then the race being on the Memorial Day weekend, which is the final weekend in May. And they would actually have practice all the way through. And then I think they would previously, they'd have qualifying over the 2 weekends as well, I think.
Yeah.
So you would have qualifying.
Jeez.
Yeah. I guess it depends on how many cars were there as well. Because a lot of the time, 'cause there's only 33 spots.
Yeah, there's 33 grid slots. This year there's 34 cars trying to qualify. But I think like the record is like 74 or something like that. People actually trying to get in the race. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, which what they would have sometimes as well, like you would have teams that would have like secondary cars that would try and qualify into the race and things like that. So you might.
I think there needs to be another engine manufacturer because from what I heard, there's just not enough engines to go around for them to get more cars out there.
That's part of the problem. And like these days, because you're probably spending nearly $1 million to do, say, Indy.
Yeah.
It's hard to justify to sponsors like, hey, we need to spend $1 million to maybe not get into the race.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you haven't got that kind of, where people would go and build a car in their shed or whatever and turn up, or buy a 2-3-year-old car and turn up and try and qualify for the race.
Yeah.
So,
Dave, I have an
if
idea.
there was,
why don't you just ask Williams for money, because they gave billions of dollars for Latifi to never get any points at all.
No, Latifi was paying to drive for Williams.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe get Latifi then to the sponsor.
That's like a reverse. Well, there was rumors he was coming to IndyCar.
Okay. But then what happened?
So, well, I'm not
He crashed on the way
sure
there,
where that all fell apart, but because he was rumored to be going to the Ganassi seat that Sato and Marcus Armstrong sharing.
Okay.
Which, funnily enough, I was watching something during the week where Marcus Armstrong said he was asked what milk he wanted if he won the Indy 500.
He's vegan.
What is
well, he wrote down, it was something like, well, if I was in the race, I'd have a chance of winning it because he's not actually doing any of the ovals this year.
Yeah.
Why would you do any of the ovals? I thought the ovals would be the...
No, so what happened is Sato had a budget just to do the ovals. So he's paid for that seat for just the ovals, and then they needed someone to fill in for the other races. So I'm sure it would have been a cut price deal to do most of the races. For a cheap rate.
Yeah.
Well, for sure.
Hopefully next year he will do ovals.
I can see he seems to really be enjoying it.
Yeah.
Whether they've got the budget to pay for a Ganassi seat for the year or not.
Yeah, true.
Because the Ganassi's also in that odd position now where Ericsson wants to get paid.
Yeah.
So they either need to find a good $6 million or whatever to fill that hole.
Palau's probably going to leave them though.
Palau will be out. Yeah. And then
how's that going to work at Arrows? Because they've already got 3 cars.
Well, you either add a 4th if you want to keep Rosenquist, or Rosenquist gets kicked.
Yeah. Well, he seems to be qualifying well, but just can't seem to put it together in the race as well. But
do you, like in that kind of situation though, there's no way you're going to get rid of O'Ward.
No.
You've poached Rossi for a reason. And then you've poached Palou for a reason.
Yeah.
It just makes sense that
I guess if
this is the one that goes.
Yeah. I guess if Rosenquist gets a win or 2 during the year, it's going to make that harder.
Yeah, but also for them, they might just decide, well, fuck it, we're going to add in a 4th car because we're spending X amount in Formula One, and who gives a shit? It's only like $5 million to run another IndyCar.
Yeah, true.
So
I think they're going to be a dominant team soon. They seem to be getting closer and closer each race, each season.
And they'll get stronger as well with now like Rossi pushing Pato. They'll push each other harder. And then if you get Pillow in as well. Plus they've got Kanan for the 500, which as much as Kanan is past at Rara, apparently he had a lot to do with how quick the Ganassi cars were at Indy last year. And they were fucking bullshit quick last year. And like
on a scale of 1 to max, how fast were they, Dave?
They were in a spec series. They were like fucking max.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was a Ganassi car was going to win. You just had to be the lead Ganassi car at the end of the race.
Yeah. Because then Dixon set a record, didn't he?
I think that was a qualifying record, and he was like walking it in until he sped in pit lane. Yeah. And fucked himself.
Yeah.
And then I think
it was less than a kilometer over or something.
Yeah, wasn't it then?
You're kidding me.
Pillow was third and Kanan was fourth or something like that.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Like it was, And if like Dixon, if he didn't speed in pit lane, he would have been first. And then they would have been like first, second, third, and first, second, fourth, and fifth or something like that.
Yeah.
Realistically,
It'd be interesting. I'm looking forward to it.
So that's Sunday gone. Just watching qualifying and
that'll be good.
Right.
That's
I take it no one else was invited to the Stroll wedding last week.
There was a wedding.
There was a
Stroll
wedding. There was a Stroll wedding.
Was that a wedding for Stroll?
Yeah, but not.
Is that what Ricardo went to, or
no? He was with his mates.
Stroll married the Australian, I don't know, surfboard sport guy.
The guy from WA, Scotty something, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, at least Booby knows. But basically, he married his Stroll's sister, and they all had a wedding in Italy because they were going to have an F1 race this weekend, Dave. But it rained.
Oh, what happened?
It rained a little bit, Dave, and they just said, you know what? Lance Stroll's too good. He's just had a wedding. He's seen his sister on the happiest day of her life. He's probably going to win the F1. We can't have him that happy because Alonso will then be upset. Call the race off. And so then Dan took his girlfriend, and anyone that's never followed F1 has suddenly decided this is breaking news because basically anyone that's never watched F1 has decided, well, I've never seen Dan with a female, so this must be really new. Let's make it news. I think it was, I've never seen her in Drive to Survive. Who is this new character? This is confusing me. So, the internet lost it.
It's funny, though, when they have a private life.
Toto Wolff was there.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
They have a private life?
No, but Toto Wolff was there.
Toto was there, and so was Susie.
Yeah.
There was a bunch
but
of
isn't
ones.
Toto kind of friends with the Strolls or something? Because they buy engines?
Yeah, probably.
Until they sign the Honda deal.
We get the
I think Toto being what? Isn't Toto like a billionaire now? I don't think he really cares.
Yeah.
Well, he will fucking care though when Aston Martin have Honda engines and then really start beating them.
Yeah.
I think Bobby's struggling to keep his head above water. Keeps going under.
I think by that time, Dave, he's going to retire, and he'll get someone else to run the team. I'm telling you now that him and Mr. Ginger Spice. Also, I found out 8 years Ginger Spice and Mrs. Ginger have been married now. They're going to retire at the same time, and they're going to.
Did that? That seems to have gone very quickly. That 8 years.
Yeah.
I think it went the same speed as every other 8 years, Dave.
No, but I wouldn't have thought they were together that long.
I thought they were together much longer, to be honest.
No, So that would have been
might have been winning.
2015 with them getting together.
I have no concept of time, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
The last
Very
3 years have really
2015.
messed up time.
I've
Yeah.
worked, Dave. Time is just a made-up construct that I no longer follow, which is why I get told off at 9 o'clock in the morning if I'm going to get to work on time, and I'm like, I will in a minute,
And then you're there.
and then I'm magically there
Mhm.
at 9:15.
So
Who
a little
needs
bit of wiki.
pants?
So just doing a little wiki check. They met in February 2014, got married May 2015.
That's pretty
For
quick.
8 years.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like
I
his
think-
race
I think
team,
if you-
Horner moves fast.
Do you think other people are going to look into how quickly he moved into marrying Ginger Spice, and maybe it was too fast, and he might have spent hidden money that he shouldn't have to win over one of the Spice Girls?
Maybe.
Well, I vaguely remember at a time some of the timeline was a bit questionable as to when he moved out of the previous marriage.
You know who's gonna? You know what's gonna happen, Dave? What's his name? McLaren's gonna write him a letter saying,
Yeah.
"Dear Mr. Ginger Spice, it has come to my attention. I also had eyes for Ginger Spice, but my cars are shit and I couldn't get there in time. Also, I'm a fat American with no style or substance. You at least."
Does Zach have a significant other?
I don't know.
This
I
is-
kind of feel like Zach's significant other is Zach.
yeah.
I'll tell you right now.
I feel like Zach's like he's like, as much as I give like crap to Toto is a classy man, and you can see why, he's a rich man with Susie, right? At least the man has,
I think we need to put McLaren in the search.
Mhm.
Hey, he seems to. There's pictures of him with a woman.
even Gunther, I would say, is a man with he's got a bit of swagger.
Wiki has no information about his personal
I like the very first Drive to Survive tried to make Gunther out as like the bad guy, like just showing him screaming at the drivers and carrying on,
Doors.
and
Fucking
everyone
doors, Rob.
everyone liked him. Everyone liked him. So now he's like their favorite, and they push him.
Yeah, but Rob, that Drive to Survive, as was said, it's so badly manufactured. Like if I watched it and I never watched any F1, and then I went to Dave and went, oh man, how good is Lewis and Toto? They're like the best two people in the paddock, and Gunther's this mean old man that hates everybody.
Yeah,
Dave would be like, no, that's not how it works.
yeah.
And then you'd be watching it and be like, oh, how good is Dan Ricciardo? He must win every race because every episode is about him, even when it's not about a team that he's even been on. It'll be like, this week at Ferrari, Dan's got a hat on.
I noticed the other day I still haven't watched the last 2 episodes of Drive to Survive.
I won't spoil it for you, Rob, but Max wins.
I haven't watched the last 2 seasons, so
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Okay, Zach is married with 2 kids.
there we go.
Are they any
2
good at
sons.
racing?
I don't know, but he's got 2 sons.
Because I think if Dan gets his act together, he could have some. When do you start go-karting? Like 6 or 7?
Yeah, maybe.
Some
Something
of
like
some
that.
of them earlier.
Yeah.
So I reckon by 2035, we're going to have some little Ricardos, probably in Formula Kart.
Will that be
I don't-
before or after Gen 3 Verstappen's?
Ooh,
I reckon before
Whoa.
Gen 3 just happens.
I think doesn't he have one already?
Has Vettel
Verstappen?
got kid?
No.
What about Vettel?
Vettel's got 3, I think.
Ooh,
Yeah.
you reckon Alonso's going to pop out some little Alonsos?
I don't know.
Oh,
Maybe.
I don't know.
Because you know who's single now? Shakira and Alonso. That's the power couple we need.
That's the Taylor
What
Swift
about
thing
poor
being
Tay-Tay?
canonical.
Nah.
No, Shakira.
As Dan said, Alonso's doesn't really have the Tay-Tay factor. He's in his own
Nope.
level. I reckon Nando. Oh, what's his name? Lando could go Tay-Tay if he was He sings. Hey, which is the Ferrari driver that likes to sing a lot?
What? Carlos?
Smooth
Carlos.
operator.
Smooth
Yeah.
operator.
Has anyone
Carlos
listened to
is-
Charles's? Anyone listened to Charles's song?
No.
No.
Sorry, I'm still cleaning my ear out after the Will I Am song.
Oh my god,
What?
how bad! That was
Greatest-
shocking.
Greatest
What?
song ever.
That
What was
was
that?
Oh, Dave. I think later Rob's going to sing it, but basically, as Rob said, Will I Am was told to make a song for the F1. He forgot about it. 5 minutes before the race, he's gone on Chat GTP and just said, F1 Super American #1 rocket guy, Miami, Logan Sargent, Cargo Fast, Tell Me Stuff rap music. And Chat GTP said, syntax error, here's some words, speak them. I'm pretty
Okay.
sure you could play it and no one would get you copyright strike because they'd have to admit to that owning the song.
Exactly.
You'd never admit in 100 years to that. You did that.
Nope. Okay. Wikipedia. Alonso was married between 2006 and 2011.
Ah,
Then he was engaged to a Spanish TV presenter in 2015
Hey.
to 2016.
he could land Shakira.
And then he dated an Italian model from 2016 to 2021.
Of course he did.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Because didn't he break up with her around the same time as Taylor Swift broke up with her?
No, that was 20. He broke up with the model in 2021.
Yeah, plenty of time for Alonso to have some rebounds.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
and then and now
Children that he
Shakira's.
doesn't know about.
Yeah. So, Dave, do you think that F1 is just going to be a self-fulfilling prophecy of the same people over and over again?
Maybe.
It's just
Well,
gonna be-
it's looking good.
So we'll have a couple of Verstappens, some Ricardos, some
Yep.
Vettels.
A Raikkonen.
I'm putting my money on
Ooh.
them already because
Yeah.
you know those kids are bonkers.
Kimmy's
Yeah.
kids already karting.
Oh yeah.
Like,
And he's actually pretty
Kimmy's
good.
kids probably wake up every morning to like being thrown spanners at them, saying if you can dodge a spanner, you can find a corner.
with death metal playing or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I reckon
It's funny
those
though
kids-
with Kimmy. Like I follow Kimmy on Insta. Like his kids actually rallying on ice already.
Yeah,
It's
Yeah,
nuts.
Isn't that-
like
isn't that
4
like-
months old.
yeah.
No, it's about 6 or something
You
now.
you get in kart now.
You do slide around this snowman.
Yeah.
You get in the drifting go kart now. What about the
Oh, yeah.
tires? No tires, only metal. You find the grip because in the future you're going to have a fight with Vettel's son, and he's going to go, none of us have grip out there, you dickhead, and then you're going to walk off the champion. So what? Lewis isn't going to have any kids, or does he have kids?
No kids.
No.
Nope.
He's he's been single since the Pussycat Doll, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
supposedly he
Since
was seen on a boat with someone. I've forgotten now. Booby will tell us.
He was seen on a boat with someone.
I remember just seeing like something appeared on like YouTube, and I didn't pay any attention to it, but I did pay attention to all the massive conspiracy theories, which I watched all 20 minutes of because I have nothing better to do in my life. You just have
Is
to
it
make
is
it
there
back.
messy conspiracy stuff on YouTube?
Oh, Dave, don't even start.
Is this a rabbit hole I want to go down, or
Probably
Basically,
not.
I had my headphones on listening to that while doing work, and every so often I had to stop just to be like to look at the screen to like see what the words matched up to their like thing.
Are these people who show their face, or are they all hiding behind?
No. It's all
stock
just like
footage?
imagine me doing a 1 hour podcast with a little bit of research. That's how.
Isn't that what you do now?
Yeah, but they put in a little bit more research and have better production skills than me.
All right,
So,
Matt's got questions, I believe, or names.
I do.
I'm gonna hurry you up. Because
Yeah.
this room doesn't have heating and it's getting really cold.
And
All right,
I was
here we
only
go.
supposed to be
Matt,
on
this
here
is
for half
Matt.
an hour.
Yeah.
Matt,
Right,
you were right.
We've only got a
Matt,
couple of questions.
let me answer the question beforehand, saying if you're seeing anybody at the moment.
Oh, okay. Who is it?
Apparently, Shakira. He's been sighted with Shakira.
I've created a love triangle. I've already done it.
Alonso's going to troll himself into that one.
Oh yeah, for sure, guaranteed.
I've created a make-believe love triangle. You heard it here first.
Yes.
Dave's podcast breaks all the news first. And we've lost Booby.
He's
Again.
No, I'm here.
He's back.
No,
The
I'm
flood.
back. It's
He
Not
got
right.
taken by the floods. Go to higher ground, Booby.
Hold your breath.
All right.
First question, Dave, as I've just put it in, and for Booby and Rob. Which
Yes.
F1 has had the best livery? Or rally car, or... The correct answer is the Star Wars one at Monaco by Red Bull, but
no.
I'll accept other answers.
The Honda RA 107, the Earth car.
What?
Oh, is that
Is
going,
that
that's going back?
the white one or the black one?
No, the one with the
The
globe.
globe on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, wasn't there one that there was the first one that was more black, I think, and then they did the second one with Earth Dreams
What was
Okay.
it called?
on
Rob?
and off memory.
Just look up Honda Earth car.
Honda Earth car.
Yeah. Honda F1 Earth car.
Oh,
There
yeah,
was
that
the white
pretty
one.
cool.
That was horrible.
Yeah, that was
That was a
the
shocker.
first one was the black one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And then the year after was the Earth Dreams
White one. That was horrible.
Yeah,
What about the blue
What?
one?
that was pretty
Yeah,
cool.
the black and blue.
But the whole no sponsor thing didn't really work for them, did it?
No.
Yeah.
What was was it BAR with
Yeah.
The
half and
zipper.
half? Yeah.
Oh, the Lucky Strike 555.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was actually not too bad.
terrible.
I said it's not too bad. Yeah, it was different. Yeah, actually, that's the best way of describing it. Different.
That I didn't like that
I
one
didn't
much.
mind the.
Yeah.
I didn't mind the 93, 94 Williams. Just the way they just worked out well
Yeah.
with that. The live deliveries on that, or the 90, or the GT4 Celica's with the Castrol on it.
Oh,
That looked all right.
from like Sega GT Rally.
Yes.
Probably my favorite would be the Lotus 79.
That's a
The
nice
John
The
Black
black.
special. Yeah, black
Ah,
with
the-
gold.
black with gold. Yes,
Hmm.
Yeah.
They
that's
were,
nice.
yeah.
That was a great looking car.
Yeah.
I really liked the Jordan 191. I don't think that's a bad livery. Plus, that car was just a very, very nice.
The 7-Up.
7-Up
that-
Jordans, yes. The
Yeah,
7-Up
that was pretty
Jordans.
Oh yeah, 7-Up and Tic Tac.
And then, if you want to look at a bad livery, go to the 1992 Jordan.
Oh.
Oh,
I was going to say there was the was that the one with the Benson and Hedges?
No, that was. I'm trying to think who was main sponsor in '92.
it's Pep.
Oh.
Is it Pepsi or something?
No, it changed. Was it an oil
Oh,
company?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it looks like
Sasol.
Pepsi.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
that
pretty
is
ugly.
shocking. That's bad.
Yeah,
It may.
and then I think it might have even got worse for '93.
That looks like something that should be an IndyCar.
Yeah.
Oh, 93 was.
93 was just as
Yeah.
bad.
And then 94 it got better again.
Yeah.
Oh, that was not too bad, 94.
I quite like the 94 car as well.
I'm just trying to find when did they switch over to Benson and Hedges?
96.
Yeah, but I like the bright yellow. Yeah, okay.
96 was the gold one, and then 97 they went to the yellow.
Bright yellow, may I recommend McLaren? They're a bright yellow team, and they don't go very fast. So when they drive
but they're
past, you can
papaya.
see them really well.
But
They
they're not
puddle
yellow.
along.
Higher.
The Jordan DHL car.
That was around 02 or so.
Yeah, the Jordan were the reason why DHL are now yellow and red. They used to be white and red, I think.
Okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Now they've got the
We're
iconic.
going to school with Rob. Rob's the new school teacher.
I'm the captain. Eddie Jordan convinced DHL to change their colours just because their old colours were too much like everyone else on the grid.
Yeah, it was something to do with like the BAR or something, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Being white and red,
White
and
and
it was
red,
going to
yeah.
look.
Mm.
Yeah.
Very similar.
Yeah. So they went with that, and now everyone knows them because of that colour.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, mainly
Feels
due to
good.
the Jordan Grand Prix Formula One team.
Yeah.
That works.
You know, Rob, your mate Latifi, he spoke to Williams, and now all Williams cars are crumpled up into fences because that's what Latifi did. And he suggested that's the thing they do all the time.
Maybe
He
they
also
should get
told him
Latifi.
if he did it in the last race, it'd make it for a fun time for the race director to have to make some human decisions and anger an entire fan base.
I think they should get rid of Jenson Button as their advisor and get Latifi on board.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Because you know what he could do? At the end of every season, he'd be like, I remember a time I was racing at the end of a season.
Yeah.
Nothing much happened. Anyway, moving on.
Just going through the old Dale Earnhardt number 3s. Any of them. They actually look really good.
Yeah, I just flicking through. I quite liked the Simtech, the 94 Simtech.
Footwork?
No, the Simtech.
Was that the one with the
Ratzenberger, David Brabham team?
Yeah,
MTV.
Yeah, that was cool.
I didn't realize, Dave, that Repco actually provided F1 tires.
Engines.
Engines.
Engines or tires?
Engines.
Well, one or the other. Either way, it was amazing to know that Repco.
What do you mean, one or the other?
One or the other, Matt.
It's an F1 part. It's an F1 part that people, look at.
They were quite successful engines.
Yeah, I didn't realize that.
They may have won the World Championship.
They did. It's like finding out Super Cheap Auto made really good engines in the 80s or something and won something.
Yeah.
I thought Repco was just a shop.
No, they were an engine place. Yeah.
I have one more question, Dave.
Okay.
I need you to rank the following motorsports in order of preference. There are 7 of them, so just so you know. Okay, so here we go. We have Formula 2.
Yep.
Formula 3. IndyCar. Mario Kart. Dan Boat Racing. NASCAR. And Formula 1 by Max Verstappen.
Well, IndyCar's number 1 at the moment.
All right.
For me. Formula 1 would have to go number 2 because I do actually watch it over all the others. I did watch the Dan Boat Racing.
Pretty good.
So, yeah, I have seen more of that this year than some of the others in that list. I've seen F2 and F3 live this year. I haven't actually watched any of it, but I have seen it live. I'm not sure the other two are pretty made up kind of game things, aren't they?
Mario
NASCAR's
Kart.
NASCAR's not real, is it? It's
Oh,
like Mario
yeah.
Kart. It's just a kind of a computer game, isn't it?
I think it's
Like-
NASCAR Heat or something. It's a video game, Dave.
Yeah,
You get on the PlayStation.
yeah. You don't have like in real life. You don't have cars that ride walls to win races and
No,
You know,
only in GameCube
weird-
NASCAR games.
weird kind of stages like on Cigarelli or whatever, where you got to cross the line at a certain time or you blow up or something. Isn't that how NASCAR works?
Yeah,
Pretty
I
much.
think Dave, if you hit a certain thing, it says time extension, and
Yeah.
then you can keep driving.
Yeah.
And then at the very end, they wave the checkered flag to let you know there's one lap left, as we've all learnt from movies.
Yeah, that was that John Travolta thing, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the checkered flag means one lap
Yeah.
to go.
Mm.
I hope
Wow.
Brad Pitt doesn't make that mistake and like waves the checkered flag at the end of the race. He'll look like a right old idiot.
Well, sometimes you get people waving it early.
Hmm.
I'm
Yeah, it's
trying to
happened.
think who did
It happened, was it?
Yeah, the Canadian
happened
Grand
if one-
Prix.
Who was the? I'm
Oh,
trying to remember
really?
who did that. Yeah, it happened.
Yeah,
They waved at one.
I think it was Multicolored Face, whatever her name is.
No, it wasn't her. It was somebody else.
Google
Was it-
I don't
Was it
pay that much
Shakira?
attention.
fact checker.
I'm checking it.
and also, Dave, because I promised it to Rob, I generated a bunch of new American race driver names.
Now. Wait. Go back a sec there. You generated. Did you use
Yeah.
ChatGPT for this?
Of course I did, because they made. I was going to make my own, and then some of these are just better than I could have imagined.
Because I was wondering
So-
where you got some of these from.
Some of my favorites, Dave. We got Ethan Engine. That's just quality. We got Greg Gearshift, which I believe should be a real name. Peter Pitstop. That's obviously the race director. And Sam Sparkplug.
I'd like to point out it's actually Peter Piston.
I changed it. See, I had some of them written down on my other list, Dave.
Okay.
Okay.
And then also for Rob, we generated some names for Rob's new better half.
Yep.
Much like Alonso, he needs to start a legacy of little Robs. So we have Quinn Quick Start, because I think you were telling me, Dave, that you said that Rob was a 10-second man. I don't know what that means, but it's basically the same thing, right?
Doesn't live his life a quarter mile at a time.
And he's all about family.
Why do all these names have the same first, like the first letter in both names is the same?
Oh,
I know.
I can answer that for you, Rob, because when
Yeah.
I typed it in ChatGTP, I said the surname has to start with the first letter of the first name, so it fits perfectly.
Oh boy. All right.
Rob, I spent a good 4 or 5 lines getting the criteria of these names correct for you.
Nice.
I said they need to be stereotypical American names, and they have to have car parts as the surname, and the surname needs to start with the first letter of the first name.
I reckon next week we get you to try and tell us what each of those words are in a car.
I can probably tell you 90% of the ones, and I won't tell you the 1 or 2 that I don't know are.
Like, where's the jack shaft?
That's just near the jewel shaft, obviously. Yes.
All right. The fact checker. You guys want to know who done the wave flagging wrong?
Yeah.
Christina Aguilera.
No. Pele.
Oh, yeah.
Pele.
That was
basically.
in Brazil, wasn't it?
Yes,
Yeah.
it was. Pele.
I mean, how long ago was this, though, Booby?
2002.
He would have
Was
been
it that long
90.
ago?
He was
Yep.
about 70 at that point, wasn't he?
Yeah.
I could have sworn that it was one more recent.
I'm still going through the list. Then
Yeah.
in 78 at the Argentinian Grand Prix, there was an issue then. 1985 British Grand Prix.
Hey, Bully, if
Yeah.
you lift yourself up, it looks like you're being chopper lifted out of the flood zone.
Oh, you mean like this? Anyway, 2014 Chinese Grand Prix. There was a situation then. Here we go. Oh yeah, you're right. It was the multicolored model. The
Yeah.
2018 Grand Prix.
Winnie Harlow.
Winnie Harlow. Yes.
Oh, what
Yeah.
was she doing waving the flag?
I
Because
don't
she's
know
got
that.
multicolored face.
But like, why? I thought the people that waved the flag. Oh, that being said, I've seen Tim Cook of Apple wave the flag, and he did it.
Yeah, they usually get some celebrity or something doing
He
it.
did it. He was so enthusiastic about it too.
Yeah.
He was,
And then
wasn't he?
the last time
Yeah.
it happened was 2019.
So there was
BJ
one
Cole.
after Winnie.
Yeah. There was one after Winnie.
Who was it in 2019, Booby?
Technology.
Who?
The
What-
lap
who?
counter stuffed up. The lap counter thing
Oh.
stuffed up on that one.
How does that stuff up?
I don't know. It's stuffed up. The person programming the electronic board wasn't apparently.
Oh, they didn't know how to use ChatGPT properly.
Yeah.
They
Was
were
there any
watching the John
ChatGPT back
Travolta
then?
movie, Dave, and that's where they got the information from. Checkered flag, end of the lap to go.
You've got to enter the information correct.
Yes.
Everyone knows that, Dave. Everyone knows that.
Mm. So if we covered everything off?
I think
Pretty much,
we've
yep.
completed the goal of 57 minutes of just nothing. I've completed
Yeah.
my goal.
Yep.
I gave you a proper review of the race, and you answered my question, so I'm happy.
Mhm.
So,
Getting
yeah,
told
so
with
Indy 500 qualifying this weekend.
Yep.
No Grand Prix.
Yep.
Yep.
And so
Can we do
we'll,
prediction?
for what, Indy 500 or?
Indy 500 qualifying. We can at least do that.
Yeah. Who are you going for?
Let me put it this way. I'll go Dixon, McLaughlin, and Sato. There we go. There's my top three.
That's for qualifying?
That's for qualifying.
That sounds like a very safe choice there, Booby.
I just chose the two Kiwis and the Japanese guys. So going for APAC, choosing APAC over everybody else.
What about Power?
He can be fourth.
Or Armstrong, who's not taking part? I think it'll be probably a McLaren versus Ganassi fight
Okay.
for pole. For something different, I'll go Pardo for pole. Sato up there, and Ed Carpenter.
Okay. There's a.
How often does the pole to the win?
Not often.
It's not that. I think the last one was Pagano,
Okay.
which
I'm gonna go-
that was 2019, I think.
Yeah. I reckon. Yeah, it's gonna be arrows, I reckon, but they haven't been so good in practice though.
That's only practice.
Yeah, I know.
They haven't had Fast Friday yet, have they?
No.
That'll
No.
be tomorrow morning for us, won't it? Yeah.
Dave, do you know
So
how
you'll
much
actually
tickets are?
see what they're like in. Sorry?
Do you know how much
No,
tickets
Price
are
Friday
in
would be
the
Saturday morning,
500?
wouldn't it?
Too many people talking at the same time.
All right.
You.
My question. I'll go first. That'll be Saturday morning then for the Fast Friday.
Yeah.
All right. Go, Matt.
I was just going to say, tickets to the Indy 500 are only like $100 US.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's someone did a comparison between IndyCar and Miami to do the same thing like pit walk and all the fancy stuff, and it worked out being 10 grand cheaper to see Indy 500.
Holy
I
shit.
think it was something ridiculous, like you could go to every
Yeah.
IndyCar race for the year for less than what you could go to Miami.
Yeah. Yeah, because
that's
a lot of the
right.
races are like $50 and stuff for
Yeah.
decent seats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Holy-
think it actually costs more to go to the supercars than what it does to IndyCar races.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Jeez.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm just checking. Dixon's qualified. Dixon's qualified on pole the last 2 years.
Yeah.
And
That's
he's got the
boring just going for Dixon.
Yeah, I know. But then, of
You gotta
course, I'm
mix it
looking
up.
at it. Yeah.
Santino Ferrucci. Get him on pole.
Santucci.
Santucci on
Is he
pole.
related to Stanley Tucci?
Maybe.
Unfortunately for Santino, he is in a shit team.
Okay.
We're going to go Santino Ferrucci.
Okay.
Then I'm going to go Agostino Canapino.
Yep.
Because
That sounds like a good Italian name.
Yeah, it
he's
definitely does.
what is he? Argentinian.
Argentinian.
And then I'm going to go Tony Kanaan.
Okay.
Oh,
TK actually
Stingray
kind of a big shot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
You're forgetting, I'm trying to think of his name, the bloke who's not going to qualify. RC Innocent.
Yeah, he won't. Able Motorsports.
Yeah.
Back kicker.
Yeah.
Scott Dixon won the race from pole in 2008.
Yeah.
Okay.
But Pagano was the last one to win from pole, wasn't he?
Simon
Pagano had pole in
2019.
2019. Yeah.
2019. And one guy's actually won it 3 times from pole.
Would that be AJ or?
No, Rick Mears.
Yeah. Yeah, because he was which qualifying was a bit more of a thing back then as well.
Yeah.
Like,
So
you'd have guys who would really.
It's funny
be good
because
qualifiers.
they're very spaced out, like 79, 88, and 91. Those are the years he qualified. You qualified on pole and won.
Yeah. But then Indy's a bit different. Like, you look at the gap with Montoya.
Oh, yeah.
As well. He was, 02 and 15 he won?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is a fairly big.
Okay. No, this only got the pole position, guys.
Is,
and Scotty Dixon was on pole that year too in 2015.
Yeah. And Montoya won.
Yeah, no.
I was torn that one because Power comes second.
It's funny because Dixon has qualified first. Has qualified on pole 5 times for the Indy 500.
And only won once.
Yeah.
Which is funny because traditionally he's not a great qualifier in the normal season, but then he's won the championship 6 times.
Okay.
Whereas at Indy, he's actually a very strong qualifier.
Only won it once.
Yeah.
And Ryan Briscoe back in 2012.
Did he have pole?
He had pole. Ryan Briscoe back in 2012.
Yeah.
He was an Aussie, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He still is.
He still is an Aussie.
Gone by this is a Australian American.
I think he's permanent. He's got a green card or whatever now, I think.
He's only 41. Why is he not racing still? Has he lost his legs or something?
His career would be a very good YouTube video, I think.
Really?
Lots of IndyCar. Prototype racing, sports car racing.
But
Briscoe, Daytona.
Briscoe was a kart champion who realistically should have got an F1 seat with Toyota.
Yeah.
And they really shafted him over. So he went to Ganassi with Toyota in IndyCar. And then he was doing shit at that, but then he ended up with Penske for a bit. And then he'd do really good, but really shit as well. Like, he was very up and down. Yeah.
131 starts, 8 wins, 13 poles.
But never really any good in the championship, was it?
No. Best was third in 2009.
Yeah.
He's still doing better than Connor Daly, who's been there forever.
Yeah, Connor hasn't exactly had a shot in the 2 best teams, though.
Yeah, true.
True. Yeah.
So currently he's racing in the hypercar for WEC. And he's doing sports car championship.
Yeah. He's done pretty good in that so far.
He's doing all right.
Yeah.
You do wonder, he's one of those guys like,
what if?
had the cards fallen slightly different.
Hmm.
Like he could have been the lead driver at Toyota and could have been there as they were kind of hitting their stride in that just before they pulled out. But yeah, they decided they needed a Schumacher. The wrong one.
A young
wrong
up and comer moto driver.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Yep.
We've
Well
done
done.
I'm done. It's
some
bedtime.
predictions and everyone's ready for bed. So
Yep.
enjoy Indy 500 qualifying and we'll see you next week. Hopefully we'll be able to preview a Formula One race.
Well, hopefully.
I mean,
Yeah.
can it flood in Monaco?
Monaco.
Oh, it could.
Okay,
And as much as it
fantastic.
sucks, like I do feel sorry for all the people in Italy who's lost their houses and
Exactly.
whatnot as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're here to talk about Formula One, so it's a little bit disappointing for us.
Yeah.
Until next week.
All
We'll
right.
see you later.
Adios.
See ya.
Wait a minute. Go back